maintaining the highest levels of customer service and satisfaction. With reliable energy, the future is in your hands.
Going back to the place we love, with endless summer nights comes alive. I don't need the rain when the sky is blue. I don't need the night when the day is through.
Like and follow News 1226 on Facebook for the latest up-to-date coverage near you.
From the station that's on your side, breaking news.
Good evening. We begin with breaking news tonight. Georgia Governor Brian Kemp just appointing Columbia County's new district attorney.
The first district attorney ever for Columbia County. Just in the last couple of hours, he announced former U.S. District Attorney Bobby Christine as the man for that job. We have Kennedy Harris live at the Columbia County Courthouse for us when he'll take office. Kennedy.
Yeah, earlier this month, Bobby Christine and former Augusta DA Natalie Payne announced their intention to apply for the open DA position for Columbia County, and now Governor Kemp has made his decision. Bobby Christine will serve as the new DA over Columbia County's separate judicial circuit. Christine serves as the U.S. District Attorney for the Southern District of the state before resigning in early February of this year. He served in that position since 2017 after being nominated by President Trump. Now he'll step in as Columbia County's District Attorney until the end of 2022. This comes after Senate Bill 9 was passed, splitting Columbia County from the Augusta Judicial Circuit. The bill raised a lot of questions and concerns about how cases would be handled and how appointments would be made for the new position. When the pandemic hit, more than 24,000 cases were put on hold. The Augusta Judicial Circuit, now Christine will be taking over some of those cases. And I spoke with Richmond County's District Attorney Jared Williams, who said Bobby Christine is extremely qualified, and I look forward to working with him to ensure a smooth transition for the citizens of Columbia County. And right now, we know that Christine's term will begin in July, and we'll have more information about his appointment tonight at 11.
A big move there for Columbia County. Kennedy Harris, thank you for that live update there.
Also breaking tonight, the three men charged in the Ahmaud Arbery case now face federal hate crime charges. A federal grand jury moved to indict Gregory McMichael, his son Travis McMichael, and William Roddy Bryan. Each of the men face one count of interfering with rights and one count of attempted kidnapping. The McMichaels also face an extra charge of using a firearm during a crime of violence. These charges are stacked on top of the murder charges they already face on the state level. Now, we don't know yet when they will go to trial on those state or federal charges, but we'll certainly keep you posted.
Much more news ahead, but first,
update for those rain chances Friday in just a little bit.
Crews are still searching for two men who went missing while they were boating on Clarks Hill Lake.
We are going on night 4 of that search. Still no sign of Edward Kirk and Ian Wilson. News 12's Will Rio has been out talking with those search crews for the last couple of days now. And Will, a lot of friends and family are really looking for answers.
Yeah, that's right, looking for answers, and I mean, DNR tells me today that they will continue their search throughout the area until they feel they've done all that they can to find these two men that went missing on Sunday. And the next step of the search, really, they say, is going to be doing surface checks and shoreline sweeps at that point for the next they'll do that a couple times a day for the next several weeks until they find these two men. I spoke with a local diver here who says that there's many factors going into the way that these rescue crews dive, and there's many unfavorable conditions making it very difficult for them. Rescue crews and divers are still working to find an exact location of where Edward Kirk and Ian Wilson ended up in the water.
They do have some challenges.
Andrew Davis is one of the most well-known divers in the region.
I've been doing this since 1986.
With more than 2 decades worth of experience, he says these divers are working through tough conditions, the main one being able to see.
The visibility currently is about 5 or 6 feet in the top layers. You get below 40 feet and you're down to more 3 or 4 feet.
He says storms from over the weekend are likely the cause of this, but says there's more than not being able to see.
The location, the eyewitness reports and all of the location, narrowing that down to aid with the search.
That search area is roughly 71,000 acres, so trying to pinpoint exactly where they could be is a nightmare. Tie that in with what the bottom of the lake is made up of.
They run established patterns to do their searches, but any fin that hits the bottom, there's going to be a cloud of silt, and so they have reduced visibility.
Davis says the lake is 180 feet at the deepest point and says depth affects how long they can look underwater.
There's also, at 100 feet, the maximum dive time on air that you can have is about 16 minutes. So the dive time may be limited at those deeper depths.
And I spoke with the Columbia County Sheriff's Office about how often something like this happens. They say since 2019 they've had 3 drownings. Now this one did happen on the Lincoln County side, so if something like this is not happening so often up here at Clarks Hill Lake, guys.
Will Rio on the challenge of the search. Will, thanks very much.
There's a brand new community coming to South Augusta, and here you can see crews breaking ground today on the Orchard Landing development on Peach Orchard Road, right off of Tobacco Road.
So when all is said and done, it'll have more than 40 new and affordable townhomes to offer, and there are plans for even more affordable housing options right there. News 12's Nick Proto is here with details.
Woo! It's our time! Yay!
2 years after buying land on Peach Orchard Road, Oscar Jesse and Green Space Communities broke ground on affordable townhomes. An Augusta native, Jesse says this area of town has been underdeveloped since he was growing up.
Older housing on one side of town, newer housing on another side of town. Now, it's still the same in some parts.
Now he's trying to make a difference in his hometown, bringing 44 townhomes to the area.
It's a remarkable feeling.
But he's not the only developer who sees potential in the area. Troy Woodis is a consultant based in Alabama. He works with a developer who bought some of the land to create 122 affordable apartments.
We see growth coming this way, and so we like to get in the path of progress.
Hawthorne Welcher Jr. with Housing and Community Development says the new communities should have a snowball effect for more growth in the area.
It provides additional leverage from a housing stock perspective, and it just shows you the fact that Augusta, Georgia Housing and Development Department might be doing, but we're not doing it in isolation.
The first 12 townhomes are set to be finished this fall, with the others coming shortly after. The entire property should be finished within the next 2 years. In Augusta, Nick Proto on your side.
So the layouts in there, the apartment layouts are named Tristan and Ambria after Jesse's own kids, and the streets there in the neighborhood are named Jesse Way and Faith Trail. Jesse tells us those are the 2 most important things in his life, crossing paths, family and faith. He tells us he wants to leave a legacy for his family, and this is a first step in doing that. The South Augusta area also has a new spot to get a vaccine. Today, the first set of doses administered at AU Health's new pop-up clinic at Diamond Lakes Regional Park in Hephzibah. We're told about 100 people showed up to get a shot there today. No word yet on when the park's next clinic will be, but we'll keep you posted as soon as that one is planned.
AU Health's vaccination efforts don't stop there, though. Today, they teamed up with the Golden Harvest Food Bank to help vaccinate employees and volunteers at the Master's Table Soup Kitchen. The 2 groups say it really felt like a natural partnership.
There's hesitancy out there, and the hesitancy is going to be overcome by local initiatives, and there's no more local than coming here and meeting with people, answering their questions with experts, empowering the staff, their education of the staff, so they can empower those individuals that come here.
Organizers say today's clinic was small, only about 20 people getting a shot, but they are proud of the difference they made with those 20, and they look forward to a bigger outreach the next time around.
Well, we talk a lot about the physical effects of COVID-19, but there's a new concern on the mental health trends we're seeing in our community.
One treatment center in Augusta tells us their appointments are backed up nearly 3 months out, and the patients they're seeing are getting younger. News 12's Brady Trapnell live with us in the studio. So, Brady, what are some of the struggles doctors say they're seeing here?
Well, Laura, one psychologist told me he's seeing a huge increase in children needing help, and their parents, and even their teachers. He says our community isn't prepared to handle this many people with mental health needs.
So it's truly like the everyday person who's really struggling.
People who never needed counseling or therapy before. And Dr. Jeremy Hertza says his practice, Neurobehavioral Associates, is overwhelmed with patients.
COVID is essentially eliminated for a lot of people their traditional coping skills. So where before you would hang out with friends to feel better, or maybe you'd go to the gym, a lot of that stuff's been limited.
For families, it's virtual school. Children trying to manage wearing a mask, or parents noticing learning problems.
Because they're with them all day, their tolerance and frustration will be different.
Dr. Hertza says he's seen appointments for children quadruple, while adults are facing new relationship issues and challenges with work life during a pandemic. but he can only handle so much, and there are no inpatient mental health services in our major hospitals.
Where we were understaffed, right, before, it's a gross problem now.
Student health counselors are stepping in at Augusta University.
The primary focus has been on trying to sort of connect with students, reach out to them so they do not fall through the cracks.
Dr. Elena Petrova says stress and anxiety are the top two concerns for students, brought about oftentimes by the pandemic.
Navigating courses and coursework and learning remotely.
Or for our community, the entire experience of COVID-19, leaving counselors and therapists with more challenges than they can handle.
And Dr. Hertza told me his practice is actually involved with inpatient therapy now at Doctors Hospital. That's an effort that they started recently because of University and AU Health no longer maintaining their inpatient units. He says even though services are overwhelmed, please don't hesitate to get the help you need.
If you are experiencing suicidal thoughts, please call the number across the bottom of your screen. We're going to put it up right here, 800-273-TALK or 800-273-8255. And for anyone who needs counseling or therapy, we will have resources linked to this story on our website and our Wrdw app.
Also this evening, Richmond County deputies still need your help tracking down a couple of men wanted for questioning in connection to yesterday's shooting at the Smart grocery store off Wrightsboro Road. We're told the man on the left is Herman Brown. The man on the right has not been identified, but if you know anything or could help track down these men wanted for questioning, call the number there on the screen.
An Augusta man is facing charges after a woman's body was found in his apartment. Investigators say 51-year-old Alaric Smith is charged with concealing the death of 38-year-old Amanda Sheetrone. Sheetrone's body was found late last night inside Smith's apartment at the Maxwell House Apartments over on Green Street. Right now, Smith is charged with concealing a death, but we're told additional charges are possible.
Still more than a month away until Columbia County officially has a new school superintendent. Dr. Stephen Flint is taking the reins come June when current superintendent Dr. Sandra Caraway is expected to retire. But after Dr. Flint ran last night's board meeting, we wanted to know what Dr. Caraway's role is from here on out. We touched base with the district. They tell us Dr. Caraway is serving in a consulting capacity until June.
Well, another beautiful afternoon for us, dry and warm in that full forecast.
Plus, President Biden is getting ready to deliver his first address to Congress. We're unpacking his spending plan and how it might impact your wallet.
And the community rallies for the recovery of a North Augusta public safety officer. How local businesses are showing their support when we come back.
Jim Hudson Acura for attractive offers on a TLX.
People are coming together right now to show support for a North Augusta public safety officer, Sergeant Andy Cook, in the hospital right now, fighting for his life after an unexpected illness.
Right now, local businesses are raising money for his family and his recovery. News 12's Zayna Halliburton live for us from the Your Pie on Georgia Avenue, right in downtown North Augusta. Zayna, earlier I drove by, there were probably 20 people waiting outside. How's it looking now?
Well, Laura, as you can see right behind me, there is a long line going on right now. A portion of your pie's proceeds will go to Sergeant Cook and his family, and people have just been out here all day. Your Pie is just one of a couple businesses doing something special in support of Sergeant Cook's recovery.
Lines to the door in support of a North Augusta police officer.
Sergeant Cook's been with public safety for a number of years now. He started out as a fireman with us. He's always helpful for the community. And he's a good person.
Sergeant Cook has been with the Public Safety Department since 2000 and is now fighting for his life after an unexpected illness. He's been in the hospital for a couple weeks. Now the community is rallying together to raise money for him.
The whole community is behind him. Prayers and blessings for Sergeant Cook and his family. And we just wish him the best, and we really want to see a fast recovery.
Your Pie is not the only business raising money for Sergeant Cook. Shop 3130 is parked right in the parking lot selling items for the same cause.
We try to do anything we can to help community. Of course, we love the police. And with as much bad press as they're getting right now, we want to do anything we can to show the love that we have for them and the community together.
And people coming out today are no stranger to Cook. They say supporting him is the least they could do.
And number one, it's the godly thing to do. It's the right thing to do. So, plus, being a fellow brother in blue, it means a lot. Come out and support him as much as you can. I mean, he's a dad of 2 kids and a wife, and he's all the help you can give him.
If you haven't made it out, it's okay if you haven't made it out. They're going to be open until 10 o'clock tonight, so you have plenty of time. And Shop 3130 will be open until 8, possibly even later. You can also come out and make cash donations.
And amazing. What a turnout there, Zana. And I know the family will really appreciate that kind of effort. Thanks very much for the live update there from North Augusta. As he hopes today's conference shows Augustans there are leaders in place who want to continue the fight against the state's voting law. President Biden getting ready to deliver his first address to a joint session of Congress tonight. There's a lot to unpack in tonight's address, and we're on your side now with a closer look at what it could all mean for you and your wallet.
The American Families Plan is the new plan we're expecting to hear all about tonight. It comes with a $1.8 trillion price tag over 10 years. It would expand the child tax credit another 5 years. It gives around $250 per month per child for middle and lower class families. But there's much more to unpack. For education, $200 billion to fully pay for preschool for all 3- and 4-year-olds. Fully paid community college for 2 years, tagged at $109 billion, and another $131 billion for Pell Grants and funds for historically Black and tribal institutions. For child care and health care, $225 billion for subsidizing child care costs, another $225 billion for a paid family and medical leave plan, and another $200 billion to reduce health care premium costs for those receiving coverage through the Affordable Care Act. So where is the money coming to pay for all of this? The president is suggesting tax increases on the most wealthy. Top earners would see a small increase from 37% to 39.6%, but people making more than $1 million a year would see their capital gains taxes nearly double. President Biden also wants to boost IRS spending to allow more enforcement power to go after people not being honest in their disclosures. He's promising no tax increases on anyone making less than $400,000 annually. This is all on top of his $1.9 trillion COVID relief package and on top of the $2 trillion infrastructure plan he's also suggested. For Republicans, it all adds up to too much spending. South Carolina Senator Tim Scott will give the rebuttal. On his Twitter page, Senator Scott wrote that tonight represents a uniquely American tradition. While we disagree, there is unity in our diversity. I am ready to share the GOP message of hope and opportunity with the entire country. And Scott is also expected to give a rebuttal to Biden's other key points: policing in America after the George Floyd movement, immigration, and gun control. And Scott is currently the only Black Republican senator. He's also the lead negotiator right now for the GOP on legislation to overhaul police procedures.
Laura, thanks for that. And after tonight's address, President Biden is heading here to the Peach State. He plans to make a stop in Plains, Georgia to visit former President Jimmy Carter and his wife, Rosalind. He'll also be in Atlanta at some point for a drive-in rally marking his 100th day in office.
Just ahead in sports, summer nights just got a little more filled. Big changes coming to Truist Park and Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Mike breaks down the new rules coming up.